live and
Episode
fucking ready to
5
go.
is live. Holy shit, dude.
Dude,
It's
you just made a rhyme there.
I know. I do it all the time.
5 and live,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I've been thinking
That's
about it all
awesome.
day since I knew we were recording. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna say this."
It's been slightly delayed.
It has
This
been
is the
slightly
first
delayed.
time this is the first
Valentine's
time we had
Day
a delay.
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day,
Day, yes.
plans. I mean,
Life.
life had to prioritize, some other things over the pod, as did you,
Life is crazy.
respectfully. Yeah, life is always crazy.
Life, it's hard, like, it's in hindsight when we started this, we're like, I mean, I don't even think we said we were gonna do it every weekend. When it first started, it was like, "Hey, you wanna do this every so
Yeah,
often for fun?"
yeah,
And then it literally turned into a fury pace every
yeah.
weekend, posting stories, but you know what? This is my first influencer statement, we do it because we like it, but it's work, it's
It's
not
work.
so easy
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah. And that's the thing, like, best things in life you just jump into. And I remember having this conversation with my Sabrina not too long ago about how, we're talking about something, and it was something about the house. I don't know, we were gonna remodel something. She's like, "We just need to think about it and plan it out more." And I'm like, "While you're not wrong, like, sometimes you just have to do it, and put
Yeah,
yourself out there. There's no amount of planning or training that can prepare you for every scenario that's ever gonna happen. And sometimes it's better to get in there and make a rapid fire decision like we did here. We recorded the pilot, we let it sit for like a couple days, and we were like, "All right,
dude.
let's do this. Let's figure it out. Let's get the software. Let's just do it."
You know
And
what? You know what was cool about it and we need to do soon is to get back in person. Like, I
oh
like
yeah,
doing it like this. It's
yeah,
super easy, it's convenient,
mhm,
but I think getting together, you know what I mean, is it's more candid, I wanna say, because
oh
that
yeah,
first one, like, it was just like,
yeah.
"Well, let's just fucking turn the camera on," you know?
See what happens. We just started recording, we pressed record, and just started talking, man. And it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. And now we kind of have like this idea of a cadence, and I think the cadence is good and it works. But I mean, hey man, we're 5 episodes in.
Speaking of cadence,
According to ChatGPT, we're doing a good job because 'cause we're putting ourselves out there. So pat on the back to us,
oh my
Steve.
god,
Pat on the back
staying
to us.
motivated.
Stay motivated.
Staying motivated when you're feeling stagnant.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Although, I'm not saying that we're stagnant. We're doing very good. I mean, in my eyes, and I think in your eyes, and both of our eyes, I think we're doing pretty good,
Hey,
you know?
you know what we did this week? We passed the
Yes, I
100
do.
followers on Instagram. I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. No, that was cool. It was cool. We've got positive feedback like we talked about last episode, and, it's silly seeing, the things start to happen, and I'm super
Yep.
down for it. So, all right, my man. Well, I think it's that
Is
time.
it that
Time for
time
this
already?
showdown game. Insert whatever music clip we're gonna start using for this game when we introduce it at some point.
We need something. We need
That's
some
a
graphics or
25-cent
something.
idea, man, for sure, right there.
I'd give you
That's
26 for it.
shit, now I'm blushing. Alright, I'm gonna put the onus on you, though. You gotta go first. I'm gonna have you be the asker, and
Okay,
I'll
how
be the
about this?
answerer.
How about this? Yes, we'll do that, but we'll go back and forth. I do a question, you do a question. Let's try that.
Holy shit. Oh, look at us breaking out of our cadence.
Breaking the mold. Breaking the mold.
Look at us adapting.
All right, I'm gonna go first,
Okay,
but we can let these ride a little bit because one of these I want to talk more about because it's been in the news and it's fucking hilarious.
okay.
But I'm not gonna do that one first.
What? You gonna tee me up like that and then pivot
All
hard?
right, we'll do it. All right, we'll do that one first. Would you be down to be famous but constantly criticized?
I mean, yes. I'm not famous, and I'm already constantly criticized, so I mean, it's how it happens.
You're not
But
constantly
no, I'm not
criticized.
talking
Get
about
out of
work,
here.
dude. Like, I
I'm not talking about. Oh yeah,
we
I
have
guess.
family that critique how Sabrina and I parent, and they critique how we live our lives, and they critique all the things. So, like, I think people assume that there are more haters than there are, right? Yeah, like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I have all these haters." No,
Yeah,
you probably don't. You're probably barely a blip in most people's story, right? But the people that I
100%.
do know that should have relevance in our life, i.e., family, they're the ones that I think criticize the most. They're going to say, "Oh, well, you're raising your daughter this way. You should do it this way." Well,
That's wild.
when I raised my kids, I did this, or when I did that. And people don't realize it. My wife's family, very conservative Christians. I think in today's day and age, you call them Christian nationalists. It's kind of gross. I don't want to dive
That's
into that
hardcore.
into too much
That's
depth, but
hardcore, bro.
yeah, but they're
That's
they'll
deep.
they'll make comments like, "Oh well, our kids know the Bible. Oh great, well your kids like hate their lives, so and moved across the
That's
country to
a
get away
heavy
from you. So
that's
are
heavy
you
duty,
sure?
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would totally be famous and be constantly criticized for it. I mean,
Okay.
there's the idea that, all news is good news, right?
But you also have to consider if you're famous, right, and you're a millionaire and you're in the spotlight and you're expected to go out and be places and kinda like work, right? You gotta go out, you gotta show face, you gotta drink, you gotta be part of the scene, and with that comes, you
Criticism.
know, candid moments, criticism, you go out, you drink too much, you get fucked up. The reason I thought this one was funny is because I love this guy, I love this actor, but he is all over the news for the wrong reasons right now. Shia LaBeouf. Did you see this dude?
Yeah, we
Did you
watched
see
the
the
video of him
videos?
yesterday getting beat up outside of a bar. Yeah.
I absolutely love him just because, he's had a rough upbringing, and I mean, not I wouldn't say a rough upbringing, but maybe a rough upbringing. If you ever seen the movie, what is it, Honey Boy, something like that?
I
The
have
movie about
not.
his life?
No, I have not seen that.
So there's a movie about his life,
I
and
know him
apparently he had
from
a rough childhood or
Transformers.
whatever.
I saw
Yeah.
Transformers before I saw Holes, so that's where I know him
Uh-huh.
from. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he's the actor from Holes." I'm like, "I don't fucking know. I know him from Sam
He's
Witwicky."
I like him in his young roles, he's good, but I like him in his more serious roles, his later roles, like, have you ever seen the movie Tank, I think it's called, with Brad Pitt? No? God, dude, good movie, but apparently
I
he's like a
have a
method actor.
5-year-old daughter. We watch a lot of Disney, and Shia LaBeouf is not a Disney princess.
He was a Disney fucking princess for a while, wasn't he? Wasn't he on Disney? Wasn't he isn't that how he started?
You watched the movie, you tell me, Steve.
No, I mean, I don't know how he got started, that's what I'm saying, like,
No,
I don't know a
I
lot of
mean,
his
I
younger
know I know
roles.
he was in Holes. If Holes is a Disney movie, then, maybe, but I knew him
Either way,
yeah,
the dude is a mess on fucking TV. Just a mess, an absolute mess. If
yeah.
you go on YouTube and look him up for public fucking intoxication, it's absolutely horrible. But that's my question. That's my little current event news story that I've been watching this week and getting entertainment from.
That's fair.
What's your question? What's your question?
My first question, would you be down to have your inner monologue, your inner thoughts and what you're thinking, be broadcast on speaker for 1 full day once a month?
Where
I don't
at,
know,
first of
bro.
all?
Should I can add some caveats.
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, my inner dialogue.
I don't think anybody would ever allow that. That's
The
like
inner monologue's fucked.
I mean, I guess it would depend on what kind of day it was, like
Right.
whether you're on vacation, you're at work, you're at home, but absolutely not to any of those
Yeah.
because, inner monologue is the most interesting monologue, but that's the one that you can't share,
Yeah.
not all the time at least.
Yes. Alright,
So
that's fair.
definitely no.
Yeah. Got some inner
Definitely
monologue you're
no.
not proud of, Steven?
Absolutely. I mean, I think everybody does.
That's how it
Some
goes.
proud, some not proud,
Yeah.
Sometimes you think you know the answer and you want to say it, but respectfully you don't.
Yeah. That's how it goes,
So,
man.
that was a good one, that was a quick shot.
That was a quick shot.
Alright,
It's a long question, but it was a quick shot for you. What you got?
let's see, I'm gonna have to find a quick shot now. Would you be da Okay, this is a good one. I think we talked about this recently. Would you be down to get roasted publicly? I'm talking full roast.
Roasted publicly like the roast of Tom Brady publicly or like some
Yes, like, I'm talking national television. National television, some of the closest people you know in your life, and some that you don't know at all, and just roast you because they've heard about you. Like, full blown, because 'cause you've seen these roasts, they're fucking brutal.
they are brutal.
They're brutal.
Man, you know what? Like, I think I would be down for it today. Like, if it was me
I like
today,
that.
I would be down for it. I mean, I don't know what the rest of my life is gonna look like, and I don't know what else to expect. But like, I would be down for it now, but 20
Not
years from
every
now,
day.
who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about you?
I
Would
don't
you
I
would
don't
you get roasted?
I mean, I think I could take it, but, yeah, I think I would do it. I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun to do it. I think it would be fun to just let people let it out, and
Yeah.
laugh about it, because at the end of the day, That's kind of like your inner monologue about certain about the person you're roasting,
Yeah.
but you don't dislike the person, it's just things that,
Totally.
you
Like,
would
if it was
say if
look, if I was gonna be roasted and it was gonna be like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer and, Kevin Hart, and then a bunch of my buddies and former coworkers and stuff, but there were some professional comedians in there that I personally like, absolutely, man. I totally. Yeah, I would absolutely.
I
I'd
think
love to hear what they'd come up with. I would go
yeah,
up in the backstage and cry afterwards and be hurt and would deal with it, but, like, I would be hilarious. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
like what? You know? That'd be good. It'd be hilarious. So, all right, I got a good one. I got a good one for you for my
okay,
second question.
alright.
Would you be down to get a Yelp review of who you are as a person?
Yes, fuck yeah, I feel like yes, and again, it would depend on who's giving it, but
Oh no,
absolutely.
let's say everybody leaves you a Yelp review and AI consolidates it and gives you a synopsis. They're like, "Yeah, you're a
Oh,
3.3
Jesus.
stars."
That would be yeah, I would definitely want that would be awesome, I think so. That's the thing, it goes back to me, I don't care what people think, but I think it's interesting to know what they think,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
To see how you're perceived, like and it would probably affect me initially, but then I'd be like, "Man, fuck these people." You know
Right.
what I mean? If it was negative. If it was positive, then, man, that's a really good guy. He really knows his shit.
Yeah, you'd be blushing. Yeah.
I probably
I
would
had
in some
somebody
of
reach
them.
out to me last week, and they were like, "Hey, like, I'm listening to the podcast, whatever." He's like, "But I wanted you to know I was with our other buddy so and so, and he told me this, and it's like a secondhand compliment when you're not in the room. I just thought you'd want to know." And I was like, "What'd he say?" He was like, "Dude, Jesse's like a drop everything friend." He's like, "Our buddy was like, if Jesse's ever like, let's hang out, like I'd drop everything to go hang out with him because he'd do the same for me and all that." And
That's a nice
I was like,
compliment.
"Okay, dude, like, shit, no, I'm sitting in the office, like, in my chair, kinda twirling, like, I was like, "Alright, cool." That was cool,
That's a
though.
very nice
It was
compliment.
cool, though. I'm 33 years old. I don't get compliments like that in my personal life ever. Do you?
I probably would have gotten a compliment like that when I was younger,
Well, I
but
mean, maybe
I
not like that.
started
How about
working
just in general, right? Because, like, I don't know, I get compliments at work all the time, and I think that's where most people get their compliments. Somebody's like, "Oh, you replied to that email really fast. Thank you." Right? And you and me, we work in sales. We work in sales, right? So, like, our job is to be Johnny on the spot, but, like, a personal compliment that's not like my wife telling me I look nice or, my daughter, even the ones that come from my daughter, I'm always like, "Oh," but, like, it's different, right? Like, I don't have homies just be like, "Dude, you're a good dude." Most of them are
Yeah,
like, "Dude, you're a piece of shit," and we're just, like, roasting each other, right? But
yeah.
that's how it works.
As of late, these last years, we moved all the way up north. We moved away from everyone that we
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really tell you that. Like, I have friends calling me like, "Hey, Steve, I just want to let you know you're a really good guy." I guarantee that the five best friends I have would all say great things about me, 100%, because we've all been friends
And then
for
they'd be like, "But this
you
fucking
know
douchebag," you know what I mean? Because that's what you
literally
do.
20. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stories, but 20 plus years, five friends that I've had, 20 plus, 25 plus, these guys that I've known forever that are the core five, let's say. And,
You
they'd say
guys have
great
a
things about me.
fucking nickname for your group of friends? That's pretty sick.
I just made it up right now. Core
You better
5.
text them
If
all,
you're watching if you're watching and
you know.
high
Perfect.
five.
High five. Well, that was the name back in the day, right? The high five?
The high five,
Yeah.
something like that,
Hey,
yeah.
something
No, but
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, no.
Jinx. What I was
Uh,
gonna say is something since we started this pod, something I used to do when I was in restaurants all the time, and I was running restaurants and I was supervising areas and regions and stuff, is I always tried to, like, give a nice compliment to someone that I didn't know really well. Like, I'd go to a restaurant and they'd be like, "Oh, I hired this guy." And I'm like, and I'd do the thing where it's like, "Oh, I'm the area manager, I'm the regional manager. I'm just gonna stand there, watch them work, stress them out a little bit, and then be like, 'Hey, I like the way you're handling yourself. You're carrying yourself really well.'" I used to always try to, like, walk away leaving a positive compliment, whatever
mhm.
you wanna call it, right? And I've gotten away from that, not like away from that. I still do it in small ways. So, like, doing this pod has kind of had me reflect a lot on, like, the impact that we can have on random people we don't know, you know? I was at Sabrina and I had date night for Valentine's Day. We went and got Starbucks, and we're sitting in line in the drive-through, and the dude in the window, like, took our order, took our payment, and he was, like, kinda, like, standing there, kinda by the window, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, what time you off tonight?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm off at like 9:30. I'm gonna go home and play Minecraft." And I was like, "Dude, that's fucking sick. Tell me about what are you building in Minecraft?" He's like, I'm building a city. Like it's kind of lame." I was like, "No, it's not lame at all, man. Like, tell me about the city you're building. What kind of architecture are you going for?" And he was like, his eyes just lit up. He's like, "Oh, I'm building this city that's like a mix of modern, a modernism with like Roman and Greek kind of architecture. I'm doing this and that." And I just got him going for like 2 or 3 minutes about what he liked. And like the amount of genuine interaction I had in that conversation, I pulled away and I told Sabrina, I was like, that kid, he's like 18 or 19. It says he just graduated high school or something like that. So this kid's 18, 19 years old. He probably doesn't have a lot of people that take interest in like him gaming. You know what I mean?
I mean, it might be for good reason, you know? I mean, gaming is cool, but, like, also, like, "Hey, Timmy, go out there and do some work." You
So
know,
so
like
like yes. So actually, this leads me to another thought that I had. Sabrina and I had a debate, not an argument. But we were debating about you know people that grow up in sheltered households that don't get exposed to things. Like we always talk about,
yeah,
we want our daughter. I don't want my daughter to go make the same mistakes that I made, but I want her to be exposed to those things so that
like, get
when
a job when you're 16,
yeah, or like,
that
hey, if
kinda
you're at a
thing, like,
party
start
if
working,
you're at a party and somebody's doing coke, like, I don't want to tell her like, "Hey, go do coke and try it," but I want her to know like, "Oh,
blow
that's
it.
what they're doing and, like, this is what it is," right? I don't wanna keep her so sheltered from it because
Yeah,
when you graduate high school, like, for me, when I graduated high school, all of a sudden it was just like, "Here you go. Figure it out." You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so you latch on to your vices, right? And so a lot of
Did you
people find
did
a
you not
vice.
experiment when you were in high school?
No, I started doing cocaine my junior high school. That was, you know, the
Yeah,
first time I did it.
yeah.
But, I mean,
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I was gonna
yeah,
say I same here, but I just
I didn't hit it
speaking in
hard.
hyperboles
Yeah,
again.
hyperboles. I didn't hit it hard until after I graduated and was working full time, you know what I mean? But that was the first time that I did it, and
Yeah,
I made the decision that I wanted to party, and that was all I was about for a few years, you know? But you have these people when they grew up super sheltered, they find a vice. Like I know some people who grew up in these super Mormon or super conservative households, and then when they went to college, all of a sudden, like you can party and go get drunk and have sex and do all these things, and there's no adults there to tell you what to do and what not to do. People go off the rails,
yeah.
both in the crazy way and in like the clinging so hard to the values I was giving that I'm not even willing to live life way. It goes both sides of that street, right? So I think,
Yeah, see, I wasn't raised in that way at all. My both my parents were like I've praised him before again, you know,
well, you
before
never
here on the
raged.
pod.
You've never once raged in your life.
No, no, but like seriously, in all seriousness, I have two older brothers. Both my parents were absolutely awesome. They weren't just awesome parents. I think they were like awesome, cool people when they were young, you know?
Yeah.
So like my dad, when we were growing up, we had a big motorhome and my parents grew up in the South Bay area. My dad, you know, grew up in Inglewood and moved to Redondo. My mom grew up in Redondo Beach. And they were like normal fucking, you know, kids in the '70s and early '80s, you know, partying, doing their thing.
Yeah.
They carried that even after they had us, you know, like back to the motorhome thing. Every weekend when we were young in elementary school, we'd hop in the motorhome, go down to the South Bay, park in front of my grandma's house, and their friends would have parties, and we'd go to the beach, and we'd stay at my grandma's house sometimes, and they'd go hang out with my aunt and uncle. But we were always like, whenever they went out, it wasn't like, oh God, let's get a babysitter for the kids. It was like, cool, we're going to a party with our friends. We'll bring the motorhome out. The kids can hang out and chill and run around the party. And then 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock rolls around, we just put them in the motorhome. So, like, we were always out with them doing things, and, like, we were the kids running through parties where there was, like, live music playing,
That's
and
sick.
we were, like, you know,
You
I
would
don't know,
get
we just had like, we were active.
you would get ostracized to hell if you did that nowadays. Not everywhere.
I mean, it just
Not
depends. It depends
no,
on where you would get
no,
ostracized.
it
Like, I
doesn't.
think it goes back to online. People online are if you put it out, then yeah, everyone's gonna have a comment on it, but, like,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
like
you
there's
go online and you hear about fucking politics and all this bullshit all day, every day. You go online, all you hear about is drama. Then you go to the grocery store or you go to the park or you go to the fucking mall, and no one is talking about this shit, like, in the
no,
walkways.
correct.
It's only online.
It's only online and it's also pushed everywhere. Like the idea of like kids being trafficked. Don't want to touch on that in a significant way. But the idea of
Why
kids
what do you mean? It's horrible.
no,
Absolutely
it is
horrible, and
horrible.
if you're a part of it, fuck off.
Correct. But it's Steve, it has always been there. But nowadays, it is into everyone's limelight. Everybody's talking about it. When we first had our daughter, there was the stress of like, oh, she's a year and a half old. Like you could go to Target and someone could snatch your child because that's broadcast everywhere. And like it happens. I'm gonna acknowledge that it happens. But like it was also happening in the 70s. It was happening in the 80s. It was happening in the 90s. It just wasn't broadcast in everyone's face 24/7 on their phone, on your live feed, on your Facebook, on your Instagram. I saw a video yesterday of some lady walking out of a store in Italy with her 1.5-year-old. You walk into the front doors of like a Rayleigh's or a grocery store and it's got the video camera right there. It was like that
Yeah.
feed, and she's walking out with her 1.5-year-old, and some dude walks into the store, grabs the child's leg, and tries to rip her out of the parent's arms in Italy, and it's like shocking. It's terrible. You know what I mean? He obviously got the shit kicked out of him by a bunch of bystanders, and like it's terrible. But like that stuff has always happened. But nowadays, there's
No,
this
you
like
obviously okay, yeah.
in the
You can
ni
see
it,
it.
the parents who became parents in like the late 90s and early 2000s, and the parents that became parents when I was still in high school and they were in their early 20s or whatever, so people, a little bit older than you, like that generation created this bubble around their kids. And that's come to us as millennials where your children can't do this. Like can't like me and my best friend that I grew up on, we used to walk, a mile down a busy street with no sidewalk to Quick Stop to get candy bars every day of the summer when we were like 10, 11 years old. You don't see that
See,
nowadays because kids are like, oh, it's not safe. You're going to get stolen, you're going to get grabbed, and there's this paranoia around it that makes it feel more prevalent than it is. Not to say that it's not happening, but it's not happening every 25 seconds of every single day in every single area. You know what I mean? And I'm not excusing that I'm not saying it's not happening, right? Don't cancel me. I'm not saying that it's not happening. It's a problem. It's a big problem, but I feel like it's broadcast more, so there's more paranoia around it than there ever used to
this
be?
I agree with what you're saying, but this again goes back to my point. If you're fucking watching the news, like, do you ever watch the news? Do you ever watch like the 7 o'clock news
No,
or
it's
anything like
just
that?
literally doom and death, and unless I'm on it,
It's
it's doom and
fucking
death.
horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible, dude. It's just constant bad news and crime. Like there's very rarely anything
And then
good
you
on
have
the
the
news. It's
Groundhog Day where
horrible.
Punxsutawney Phil sees his shadow. That's the worst news you can get. Like, it's the
Yeah.
worst, man.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I'm just waiting for the time to spring forward, man. That's all I care about. Just fucking make it light longer. So when I come home, I'm not just like, "Bruh, it's fucking dark outside." Like I miss it. I hate it when it's dark all day. I absolutely
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah. I had a day trip the other day. Well, every day trip I've had this year where it's like I get to the airport at 5:40, get home from the airport at 7 PM, and it's
Yeah.
dark when I get there and dark when I land. It's the shit. It's the
It
worst.
was nice. It was nice last year doing it and getting home, even if you get home at 7 and you can still catch a sunset, at least driving on the way
On
home.
your
For
long
me,
ass
I just
drive, yeah.
I just drive on
I'm
the
the opposite.
99, man. I love
Yeah,
it.
you're straight north and south. I'm east. I'm west to the airport and then east home. So when I land at night, the sunset's behind me.
How do you guys? Because 'cause I'm not from up north, and there's farms obviously in SoCal and shit, but up here there's a lot more. How do you guys feel about, like, driving when it's just farms? Are you like, "Oh, this is beautiful," or are you like, "Yeah, there ain't."
For me personally, I dig it to a certain degree. Depends on where I'm driving. Have you ever driven to Fort Bragg? My God, it's a beautiful, beautiful drive. There's this lake, and it's not Pyramid Lake. It's like I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find
Where
it.
is Fort Bragg?
It's on the coast, kind of.
Central,
It's
southern,
like
northern?
just north of Mendocino.
Okay, never been there.
It's gorgeous. What's the name of this? It's called Clear Lake. But there's this lake called Clear Lake that you drive through. You drive right around on one of those small windy highways to connect to 101 between 101 and like I-5, and you're literally driving the entire time up against the shore of Clear Lake,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
that
it
that's the
it's
Highway 1. Is it Highway 1?
no, Highway 1's on the coast.
Okay,
Clear Lake's a little
I
bit
thought so.
inland. It's gorgeous. I
Okay.
love that drive, dude, because you're through all the redwoods and shit. Like and then you get right on the lake. It is gorgeous. What I'll
That's
tell
as far
you,
as I've explored is to the Redwoods. We
hey,
took a road trip up there one time, it was awesome.
Fort Bragg is super worth it. If you wanna go somewhere and just have a nice slow time, they have North Coast breweries there, so there's craft beer. several beaches. It's just super quaint and small, and there's not a lot going on.
Dude, when I go places, I don't look for breweries, I look for fucking nice restaurants. I'm not a big drinker anymore, even though I drink when we do this podcast. I just it's all about food.
Yeah,
It's all about
yeah. Oh,
restaurants.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. But I to answer your question, I love a good scenic drive. I'm driving 99% of the time. You know, um, I
No, you're not. What are you talking about? You're not driving 99% of the time. Oh, when you drive, you're driving.
yes, Serena doesn't
I was
drive
like,
us
"You're not
very often
drive all the time.
unless I'm pissed
You're
drunk.
flying." Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we were up in Tahoe last summer, and I drove around Tahoe for the first time in 10 plus years. And I was just like, dude, like Tahoe is such a big lake and it makes you feel so small. And then you look at it on a map and realize just how tiny Tahoe really is.
Dude, Tahoe is not a big lake.
No, what? Have you stood on the shore of Lake Tahoe?
I've driven around it. I drove around it twice
Yeah,
in one day one time. I was having one of my tough day, regardless. I drove around a
correct.
lake twice.
Correct.
It took me maybe an hour and a half,
But
maybe.
you can stand on the edge of that lake, and it's just lake all the way that way, lake and hills all the way that way, and Tahoe's not a big lake, but it's massive compared to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
super deep
it's
too.
super deep, and that's why it's, like,
I've heard some stories about the bottom of that lake.
so cold, bodies don't decompose. Ooh, don't
All
I'm
that
just
stuff.
saying.
Love it.
I'm just saying, man, it could happen.
Love that.
Alright, man, well, I have a mystery question from my Sabrina that I have not looked at yet. And she wrote it down. So I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna talk about it, all right?
Do it.
All right. What land animal has the most rage and why? And she put in parentheses, people don't count. What land animal is just angry all the time? You fucking hippos? Hippos seem like they're mad.
No, hippos are chill. They're just like, "Just leave me just stay out of my
No, you
space."
get
I
their
mean, I think they
territory.
kill the most people.
They're
They ki
yeah, they're territorial.
the most people in Africa, yeah.
Yeah, that's I mean, I would say a hippo has the most rage because the hippo is an apex predator that's not a predator. It's an
Yeah,
herbivore.
but
It doesn't
are the
it does
attacks unprovoked or are they provoked? Because I feel like with a hippo, he's like, "Yo, just stay the fuck away from me. I'm gonna stay in this river right here.
so I
Don't come near me."
don't have a correct answer for that. I have an opinion. Can I share my opinion with you?
Okay. No,
I
you
would say
can't.
they're not provoked in the sense that someone's fucking with them, but someone goes in their territory and finds out, right? An alligator will run before it attacks you. Unless you're right on the nest and it feels like its eggs are threatened, an alligator will run before it goes through. They're not vicious like that. A hippo will fuck you up for just breathing the wrong way at them. You know what I mean? And hippos are literally giant jelly beans with legs and teeth. And a hippo kills you to kill you.
No, hippos are not jelly beans. They're all muscle.
They're
They're
all
literally
muscle.
all muscle.
They're all muscle.
They're all muscle.
Yeah.
They look like they're fat. They're literally fucking pure muscle.
Yeah. And they don't kill you and eat you. They kill you to kill you. You know what I mean?
100%.
You know?
I would say I'm trying to make sure I have the right name here. No animal.
Are you cheating?
No,
You're
I'm not
cheating.
cheating. I just wanted to make sure I said so. I didn't tell you a fucking jackass. The fucking Wolverine.
Yeah.
Have you seen these fucking things on like the
Yeah,
African
dude.
savannah, like fighting
Yeah.
leopards, bro?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they have the option to run. Like I just watched a video last week where this fucking Wolverine was like fighting cheetahs or some shit. Maybe it was lions,
Yeah.
and he won. And he won. They tried to kill him, and he
Yeah.
was like he just kept fighting. Like
No,
he would get
no.
away and then
Wol
turn around and start charging
Wolverines
them.
and badgers, they give no shits. They are just like you don't even have to provoke them. They will just
Yeah,
hunt you down.
no.
Now,
I would say that's the most rage in an
I
animal right there
just had
because
a thought. I just had a thought, and I don't know if this counts as rage, but a Bengal tiger. I was reading an article somewhere online about a Bengal tiger that got shot, got hurt, ran away from the hunter, survived, stalked that hunter for 2 weeks before
fuck
killing
yeah.
him and just absolutely mauling and obliterating his corpse, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you wanna
'Cause
talk
they're
about
fucking
a
smart. That's an
vendetta kind of
apex
rage?
predator.
Yeah,
It's apex
yeah.
predator, dude.
I also
Very
read in the
smart
same
apex
article,
predator.
this is weird that I have this too. In the same article, there was this lady who got mauled by an elephant somewhere where elephants are. I'm not gonna speculate what nation or country because 'cause they're in
Africa, Asia.
somewhere in one of those 2, and
in fucking
The
Cleveland?
elephant mauled her. It just charged her, mauled her, stomped her, killed her,
Stomped her.
and then at her
Oof.
funeral, and they're laying her to rest, it came back and mauled her corpse.
No, get the fuck
No,
outta here. No, it
it's a
didn't. No,
documented
it
thing.
didn't.
Look
I
it
don't
up.
believe that
Look it up.
story.
Look it up.
I'm not looking at that, dude. I'm not looking that story up. It's you what website did you see that from? There's no way.
It
They're
was
like, "Oh, she
on
was
it was
killed by an
something
elephant."
on
Next thing you hear could you
it's
imagine?
something like Weird History or something like that.
Yeah, I don't believe those fucking websites are never real. But I like it though. I like it. It's gonna kinda lead into Sabrina's question perfectly
Okay, what's your Sabrina's mystery question of
because
the
okay, so
episode?
Sabrina's mystery question is what is an outrageous conspiracy theory that you believe in?
Fuck, where do I
Deep one.
begin?
Just one. Keep it
Just
light, bro.
just
We don't
wanna
wanna hear
keep
about
it
fucking
light.
I don't wanna hear no Charlie Kirk or fucking
No, 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 no. Okay, I got one. I got one. I got one. Shout out to my boy Rob Farrell because Rob and I used to sit. He was my roommate. I had a single bedroom apartment. We had a partitioned off kitchen, and he needed to move out. He's like, "Can I move in with you?" And he was my first, maybe not. He's not my first roommate, but he was my second roommate
oh,
ever. My first roommate.
shout
Shout
out
out
Rob.
Elijah. Shout out Elijah. He got in a motorcycle accident and just didn't come home for like 2 weeks, and I had to go to his parents' house to find out what had happened.
Oh, he didn't come to
He
your
didn't come
fucking,
home. He didn't come. He had
oh,
a
I see what
bedroom.
you're
I don't know.
saying.
It was empty. But no, outrageous conspiracy theory that I personally believe in. Me and Rob, when we were roommates, we used to fucking wake up on like a Saturday when we were both off, and we would just rip the bong and get so tater baked,
Good
and we
old
would
tater
watch
baked?
tater baked, and we would watch
What the
Ancient
fuck?
Aliens on the History Channel
Okay, good.
for
Thank God. I thought
hours
you were gonna
on
say
end.
something fucking
Okay.
weird.
So for one that I personally believe in, I believe in the the ancient astronaut theories, I think is what it's called. And the guy that is Eric Von Daniken wrote the book Chariots of the Gods. And what
Is he
he
the one with
talks
the
about,
crazy hair?
no, that's Giorgio Tsoukalos. So, this is my guy. But
Sounds like he's Greek.
he is. Well, by name, I'm not going to pretend to know who he is as
He's
a person.
definitely fucking Greek.
What I'm going to tell you though is there's a lot of things that don't make sense as to why they're there, right? So, for a great example, there's a temple complex in Bolivia. I think it's Bolivia called Pumapunku, okay? And
Heard of it?
it is completely destroyed. And there are these giant multi-ton blocks that are carved into like the letter H with a smoother and more accurate precision to how the stone is cut than we can replicate today with diamond tools and everything. It's almost laser cut, right? And these huge multi-ton blocks are just scattered all across this valley, and people are like, "Oh, it was a flood." Well, there's nothing in the geological record that indicates that there was a flood. There's no river nearby that could flood and cause that kind of damage. There's
Well,
nothing.
what was the timeline? Because there was the Younger Dryas, right? That's when the big massive flood came before I think that was around the time the story of Noah came, right?
Yeah,
Is
it
Younger
it
young
was
is that what it's
this.
called?
Yeah, I believe. Well, that's what they say is the Younger Dryas was an impact that caused the flood. That is that like an asteroid impact or something. That's technically not validated. That's also technically a conspiracy theory because you can't prove it or not prove it. You know, it's another one that I dig on that's in the same vein as the ancient astronaut theory that the Sphinx is older than the pyramids by a
Well, you don't
landslide.
believe that? You don't
No,
believe
I
that?
believe it. I believe it 100%. Have you seen pictures of the back of the Sphinx in the complex the Sphinx is in? There's actual water erosion from thousands of years of torrential rain, and the Sahara Desert's been dry for 4,000 years. So how is there water erosion in a place that hasn't had rain in millennia?
Shift of the fucking polar fucking ice cap,
Well
shift of all of that, because
no, we know that the Sahara Desert used to be a rainforest, right?
it was the same as like New Mexico.
Correct. Before the rotation and tilt of the Earth happened, because there was the Younger Dryas or whatever it is that caused that impact, that caused the tilt. It used to be lush tropical. We know it was underwater. There's whale bones in the Sahara Desert, right? Like we know it was a totally different, thing. You said with a pen, I hit it with my head. So yeah, no. Ancient astronaut theory is a conspiracy theory that I dig into. There's too many similarities. Like Like, the idea, like,
See,
hey,
but do you think it was actually aliens though, or do you think that it was just a different iteration of evolution? Because
there was some
realistically,
there was some level of communication across oceans that you wouldn't have. So you look at, like, ancient Vietnamese and ancient Thai temples and step pyramids and things that are built that are nearly identical to what the Mayans and the Aztecs built, right? Like, how are you gonna have obviously, building a pyramid's the best way to stack blocks and have them not fall down for millennia. We could all agree on that, right? But then you have the
yeah,
cuts in the architecture that are nearly the same. You have the decoration that's nearly the same. Like, there's just so much that is it is one hell of a rabbit hole that you can go down.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Graham Hancock.
Graham Hancock's another one. He's a good dude.
He's got a fucking documentary out. I think it's on. I don't know what it's on. Maybe Netflix. He's got a bunch of celebrities that like travel around the world with him to like all
Yeah,
these different ancient sites.
yeah, yeah.
Keanu Reeves was on it. It's one of my favorite episodes. By the way, Keanu Reeves, gangster. Do you have HBO?
My brother does, and we pirate his shit sometimes.
There's a Calm series. Do you know what the Calm app is? Where you can listen to music to
Yeah,
help you sleep or relax, whatever. There's a Calm series, right? Where it's like these super soothing, 30, 40-minute fucking documentary series about super relaxing professions, and Keanu Reeves is one of them. And every so often I'm having trouble sleeping, throw on the Calm series on HBO, and it's literally the most relaxing thing. I think Keanu, the one that he does is about like hand making boats. Like this dude takes a log, right? Like a giant log and carves this perfect fucking canoe. One solid piece of wood carves the whole canoe. And it's like there's like music and fucking leaves and everything.
you know what I
It's
would do
very
if I was a
relaxing.
producer? I'd produce something very
You
similar to
kind of
that.
are a producer.
Well, for a podcast, it's different. But I would
And
I
it's
would
not
I would
easy.
produce it's not, it's super hard. But I would take an entire log and I'd have somebody carve that whole thing and make it look very beautiful. At the very end, I'd have them miss hit one thing and crack that shit. And then that'd be the end of the episode.
That's
It
horrible.
would
That's
ruin
the kind of
everyone's
shit
day, dude. It'd be
that's
so
what I'm
hilarious.
saying.
That would be
No.
downvoted so hard, bro. Like, come on, that'd be so
God,
funny.
that
I'd
would
be
be
all about it.
horrible. I hate those. You ever watch those videos where like it's like a lead up and like someone's about to jump or something,
Yeah.
and it like takes like a minute, and you're just like fuck it, I'm invested. I'm gonna watch the whole thing, and then it just like starts over, and it's just a person going
Yeah.
like this for like
Yeah.
fucking the worst things ever. I hate that.
Yeah. So let's not change away from the
Conspiracy.
fact that you haven't picked a conspiracy theory. I see you over there Googling.
Well, I was gonna say this. I'm pretty sure the largest fucking pyramid, not like structural, like perfect shaped, aligned pyramid, is in America.
Yeah. It's the Temple of the Sun. Temple of the Sun in
No, no, I want to say it's in fucking the States. Yeah, the Great Pyramid of Cholula.
Cholula.
Actually, where that's the founders. These guys that made that pyramid, they made it because the hot sauce. They were like, this is the best fucking hot sauce in the world. It's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
Its base covers more area than the Great Pyramid of Giza, although it's shorter in height, but it's bigger. That's right.
The great
America.
the Great Pyramid
America.
of Giza is another one that is just so it's got 8 sides, right?
What?
Look at go on Google and look at aerial
There's four
photo.
sides, dude.
Look at aerial photo of pyramid.
This should have been your fucking conspiracy theory.
It's not. This is a legitimate thing. If you go to it is carved. So look at this. Type in aerial photo of pyramids of Giza 8 sides and go to images. Okay. So it's on like
Why do I have
this.
to type in 8 sides? I can just type in Pyramids of Giza and I see a picture and there's 4 sides.
No, look, Steven, type in 8 sides and go to
I'll
images.
entertain your fucking
Okay.
conspiracy photo.
Okay. Because on the summer and winter equinoxes, the sun is directly over the pyramid and it shows, and they have validated this with measurements, that it goes in on each side by a degree, creating 8 individual sides, 8 separate isosceles triangles that make up the entire pyramid. And
I mean,
we
okay,
you
look
went
at the regular photo.
yeah, no, Steven, it goes in by
I hear what you're
it goes
saying.
in by less than a degree. So
I hear what you're saying.
the precision of that to build that is astounding because you're going to look at it and never notice it, but it's there. It's mathematically proven that it has technically 8 sides, which is
I believe it.
freaking wild. You know what I mean? And
Now
then you
what
look
if
at
what if they built this pyramid, right, and then just over millions of years or thousands of years, not millions,
God, if it was millions of years old, that would be a conspiracy
the
theory in of
the the
itself.
the polar ice caps have shifted, and it just so happens that right now we're in the perfect spot. We're like, "Oh my god, this pyramid's perfect," but then in another million years or 100,000 years or however many fucking years, because some people say 4 to 6, some people say longer, right?
4 to 6 for what?
1,000 years of when it was built. Some
Correct,
people say
yeah.
they're much older.
Correct, yeah. The thing that trips me out is if you take the distance of the Orion's belt and how the 3 stars in Orion's belt are like that, and you measure that out, and then you take that measurement of distance between each of them, and you span it out to the size of the globe, and then place it down, it is the exact same distance and orientation of the 3 pyramids in the Giza complex. It's in orientation with Orion's belt, which is wild.
Yeah, I think the pyramids were
It
made by
also
aliens
points
or were
it points
assisted. The Anunnaki.
do you know the
The
story of the do you know
Anunnaki,
the
bro.
story of the Anunnaki,
Do
bro?
you know the story of
Yeah,
the
I've read
Anunnaki?
Chariots of the Gods, motherfucker, like, of course I know
Yeah?
that, yeah.
Fucking read it to me. Let me hear it.
Oh, yeah, I just know, it off the top of my head.
You just said you did,
Yeah,
buddy.
cool, I read all of the Harry
Anunnaki.
Potter books, doesn't mean I can read them word for word verbatim back to you.
Okay, what time period were the Anunnaki from?
40,000 BC or some shit like that? I don't know. I'm not a historian.
You read the book, dude.
Alright, so
Mythological.
have you answered your conspiracy theory question?
Aliens, bro. 100%.
Come
They're
on,
here, they've
that's
been
so
here. There are
generic.
you just said the same thing.
I said the
Aliens,
ancient
100%.
astronaut theory.
Okay,
I didn't say
okay, okay.
aliens.
Let me elaborate. Aliens are
Please.
here. They're already
Do
interbred.
you believe in
They're all
lizard people?
if no, no, I don't. I think that's fucking internet, fucking people making videos and shit.
What
Don't
about
believe in lizard
Slender
people.
Man?
Believe in aliens. Slender Man? No, absolutely not. That's retarded. Freddy Krueger? That's different. I believe in Freddy Krueger. He's definitely
Yeah, he's
real.
in like 7 movies. Of course he's real.
No, he's a real guy. He's a real guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sometimes I see him in my dreams.
You know,
The nails.
yeah, and he does things to you and they're just unspeakable.
He tries.
He tries, but I always fight him off. You know what? I like talking about conspiracy theories. When I had my very first thought and idea of like doing a podcast, I really wanna do one, like, focused on conspiracy theories because, like, I buy into, like, the Bigfoot and, the Yeti and, cryptids and things like that, like, there's some of them that are outlandish, but there's some that I buy into, right? I had this theory and this idea about Bigfoot in my early 20s, probably shortly before Sabrina and I started dating, where I felt that if you track out all of the recorded sightings and timing of the sightings in Northern California, it follows a trend of the natural wild blackberry bushes as they bloom through the state because it's not all at once, right? It's got a trend because obviously in a colder location, you're going to go up into the hills because they're going to bloom later. And so I was like, "Hey, he's following the black because you need a food source. Like, let's talk about an animal. If Bigfoot's an
Bigfoot loves
animal, well, he
blackberries.
needs a food source, right? And you're
Needs
not going
protein.
well, correct. He needs protein, so he's gonna be an omnivore, he's gonna hunt, but regardless, between your hunts, if the most successful animal at hunting in the world successfully hunts 60% of the time, and that thing's a tiny cat in the desert of Africa, right? You're gonna talk about an apex a potentially apex, predator style animal is probably successful 15, 20% of the time. How are you gonna sustain yourself on your food in that time frame? You know what I
I
mean?
think you just disproved your theory. Bigfoot's not
Potentially.
real, man.
Yeah,
He's not
Bigfoot man
real.
hey, don't tell Ashley that, she'll fucking kill
I
you.
know.
Bigfoot
I
owes her
hope she
money.
sees this.
But, I'm telling
She's
you, man,
definitely. What about
it's
Loch Ness Monster?
I don't think the Loch Ness Monster could be real. I mean, Loch Ness is huge.
Bigfoot, but not Loch Ness?
Bigfoot, if
That's
you're
just a
go
big
so
sea creature.
let's
Probably swam up a river and fucking lived for thousands
no,
of years.
no. Here, let's back that up. Bigfoot is a Sasquatch. So let's talk about a bipedal ape creature. It's talked about in American Indian folklore from multiple different tribes who never had contact with each other. There are dozens of variations, if not more, worldwide of people who have talked about them in their indigenous cultures. You have the Yahweh in China, you have the Yeti in the Himalayas, like you have the skunk ape in Florida, right? You have all these different sightings throughout the whole world, right? So Whether it's alive still or
No
not, I don't know.
proof.
No, well, I mean, they have found hair samples that don't match, that are primate that don't match, any known animal found in the American wilderness. You have videos of creatures moving in a way that a human could not replicate that walk. You have the footprints that have dermal ridges. If you look at your foot, you look at your toes, you have thumbprints, dermal ridges like you would on your fingerprints, right? You have footprints that have dermal ridges the same way apes do. Not every it's super hoaxed, right? Like there's a ton of hoaxes out there, but there's enough evidence to support that something is or was out there. How it's surviving, you don't know. People are like, "Well, where's the body?" I couldn't tell you. Like, also, we lived for, 800 years in Mexico and didn't know that, people lived in Mexico for 800 plus years and didn't know there are these vast cities under this giant jungle, right? Like that, the cities don't move, the pyramids don't move. Like if you look at, there's this show I watched. There's this archaeologist I really like. His name's Josh Gates. He used to be on this show called Destination Truth. I loved it as a kid. He'd go out hunting cryptids and ghosts and shit. And then he has a couple different shows now on Travel Channel. One is Expedition Unknown. And so Expedition Unknown went to Valley in the Yucatan. I think it's
Is
by
this
where the crater.
real quick? Is this like a big white dude with like a beard, kind
Yeah.
of a beard, like
Yeah.
a? Okay, I
Yeah.
know who you're
He's
talking
got a
about.
book. He has a book called Memoirs of a Monster Hunter. It's a fucking great read, actually. But
Does he
he,
talk about the Sasquatch?
yeah, he talks about their pilot for Destination Truth, their first season, where they were hunting this Indonesian Bigfoot, and they actually found a footprint, like a legitimate footprint of an unknown creature. Like, and he was like, "Oh shit! Like, we're doing this, right?" So
You don't want me to hold on. You don't want me to disprove this, do you?
I don't care. You can't disprove something that's not mainstream publicly like accepted. You know what I mean? I thought your conspiracy theory would be like the JFK assassination on the grassy knoll and
I
shit
no,
like
I don't
that.
give a shit about politics. I mean, I do as it concerns finances and like making fucking taxes lower and lowering the interest rate so I can refinance my house. But I guess whenever people ask me about politics, I say I'm selfish. I say I vote for money. I vote whoever's gonna fucking help me. That's where I vote.
Yeah.
I'm not an
Well,
activist.
guess
Let
what?
people do what they want to do.
Guess what, Bucko? None of those people ever gave a shit about the average person. So,
That's what I'm saying. So if I feel that one person's gonna help me a little bit more than the other, then I'll fucking vote for him.
okay.
Based, I mean, obviously I read and I do as much research as I can, but to think that these people are going to go in there and actually fix something completely or forever, it's ridiculous. So if someone's going to give me a fucking short-term 4-year benefit to help my pocket, unfortunately, at my age, and
At
I'm going
my
to vote for
age, as
them.
I'm an old man.
I'm just saying, they say you're young and you're generally this side, and then as you get older, you turn to that side, and I'm fucking living proof of that. I was always on one side as a young man, and then as I get older and I work harder and I make more money, I'm leaning a little towards the other side, you know?
Yeah.
And take that for
So,
what it is, but
disprove Bigfoot, bro. Did you disprove him? Would your quick Google search shut him
so
down?
I just put it in a chat GPT. It says Bigfoot is not real. Go figure. Fuck. Don't be a dummy is what it said. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I love it. I fucking love it. Harry and the Hendersons, one of my favorite movies in the world. You've never seen it, have you?
I know it though. I've never
You've
seen it,
never
but I
seen
know
it.
of it.
What's it
Yeah.
about?
Harry and the Hendersons.
For our older viewers, they're gonna really appreciate that. That's fucking awesome. You should watch it. You should actually watch it with your daughter 'cause it's a fucking John Lithgow.
Okay.
Great movie. Great fucking movie. Good message. Sasquatch is in it. Really, really cool movie. If you haven't seen it, dude, you gotta watch that movie. If you don't have that DVD, I'm gonna fucking order it on Amazon and I'm gonna send it to you.
I might have seen it actually. You said
No, you'd remember it.
John Lithgow with Sasquatch sounds reasonably familiar to me. But
Yeah.
no, dude, like I said, when originally wanted to start a podcast a few years ago, I wanted to dive into like conspiracy theories and do that. Like there's this other podcast called Ninjas or Butterflies. I think that is what it's called. And like they dive into all these conspiracy theories, and it's fun. It's a fun topic to talk about and to discuss. I mean, I could go on forever, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't have a doomsday prepped shelter I don't think the world's ending. I'm not that kind of conspiracy
No, you
theorist, but
don't have
like,
weapons all over your home.
no, I got some
You're
knives in a
not
few
ready.
places, but you know,
You're not prepared. A zombie apocalypse, the government shows up, you're gonna wanna go into one of their camps. You said that, bro.
yeah, potentially. I mean, look, man, I'm not gonna pretend to know how any of that would go. My biggest thing is like for zombie apocalypses though, is like we have people like, oh, I'm so ready, I would kill all the zombies. It's like you're a really bad day away from being a mass murderer. You just want to kill people without
No.
recompense. You know,
No, you just have
no,
to
no.
there's a Jordan Peterson quote, and I like that guy, I think he's fucking awesome.
Jordan Peterson,
Jordan
who's is he the one that murdered his family, or is that Chris
No, no,
Peterson,
he's like a
psychologist
professor.
and
Jordan
author? Okay,
Peterson.
who's the Peterson that killed their family? Is that Chris Peterson? No, Chris Peterson is a college football coach.
So he has a quote, and this is expanded. This is a shortened version of it, but he says, "A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control." So just because you're willing to do something doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you have the capacity to do it, right? You're a really nice guy, right? But if somebody breaks into your home, are you going to call the police or hide, or are you going to fucking pull out your gun and shoot them and kill them? There's a difference.
Like we talked about at your house at the Super Bowl. Like if somebody breaks in
Yeah.
the house, it's like, oh, happy day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shit.
it
But
expands here, and I
that's
really
but
like
that's
this.
that's also
Hold on, let me say this. Being capable of aggression or strength is part of human nature. Morality isn't weakness, it's self-control. A person who is incapable of being dangerous isn't virtuous, they're just powerless. True goodness is having the ability to cause harm, but choosing not to. Just because you're not violent doesn't mean you're good. You should have the capacity to be
wow.
violent and control it as
One
necessary.
psychologist put some words together and it changed your entire life, didn't it?
No, I just like it because someone that's not violent is not a great person. I think someone that's violent that can control it is a better person. A man, I'd say. It's a little different. But I like this guy. He's old school. It's definitely not for everyone, but I like it
That's
because
fair.
I was raised, by a strong man, very manly man. I've got all brothers, all uncles, and you know, to go back to what we were talking about, emotions and everything is I was raised in that silent but strong family, that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
Of course, it's okay to express your emotions, but at the same time, you have to be strong and you have to provide. It's nature. It's you're either strong in the wild, as a lion, you're either strong and you lead the pack, or you're not and you're a follower. So you have to define that, and it's not in every situation, obviously. I have emotions, and I'm aware of that, and I share with people, but,
Do you I feel
I
like you're the kind
also
of guy
I
who's
also
shut down.
subscribe I also subscribe to that, Sometimes venting about things trains your brain to accept and think, "It's okay, it's
But
okay, it's okay."
I'll disagree with you there because sometimes venting about things just makes you more frustrated about it because it keeps
No, no, no,
bringing
that's
it
what
to
I'm
the
saying.
surface.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes venting makes you more frustrated. So, like,
Okay.
I don't always wanna vent. If someone's like, "Hey, what's wrong?" I'm not always like, "Let me tell you everything." I'm like, "Hey, everything's fine. I'll figure it out," you know? Strong, silent, deal with it. That's just how it's how I was
Classic
raised. It's not
classic man trope. Look at that.
it's yeah, I mean, I was raised by,
So, like,
an old school
I'll tell
dad
you,
who's
and
born in
I agree. My dad is strong silent type too, and that's a little bit of how we were raised. You know what I mean? And but there's a certain side of that where you have to be willing to be vulnerable in situations, or else you're going to have more problems and issues. And
but
it's not
I think that's
and
new. I think
well,
that's new because
I'll say
everyone shares now. The thousands of years of fucking evolution and being a man and being a woman,
Steven.
it's worked. And now that there's all this fucking these eyes on everything, it's like, oh, just let it
No,
all
but
out.
here,
Like,
but
nah,
being
don't think
vulnerable is
so.
not being weepy and being weak and being like, "Oh my god, my life's so tough." Being vulnerable is being like, "Hey, that frustrated me. Whatever it is, what you did, it made me mad. It bothered me, and I'm having an issue with it. Can we address it?" Right? It's not just being like, "I'm fine. Everything's fine." When
No,
you're playing,
I wouldn't
so
say it's either of those things. I would say it's
and
addressing it, but confronting it more, not just addressing it,
Okay,
confronting it.
we can package the words however makes you feel
There's a
more
difference.
comfortable.
There's a difference
No,
than
there's
addressing
not.
something or
There's not.
confronting.
Yeah, yeah. There's a difference between addressing and confronting, and it's called tone, right? I can address something respectfully and be
Good point.
fine.
Good point.
I could be a dickhead about it, now it's a confrontation, okay? We can use whatever words make you feel more comfortable, but at the end of the day, it's being vulnerable and being accountable to how you're feeling. If you're unwilling to say, "That made me mad," in a respectful manner, you're not confronting and you're not being vulnerable or creating accountability with yourself and others. It's part of being a leader. It's part of leading your household.
Well,
Maybe
if you're talking about work and family,
no,
that's one thing, but if you're talking about being a human and not taking shit, and, like, if somebody pisses me off in public, I'm not gonna be like, "I just wanna let you know, you made me mad."
that's
I'd
not
probably be like, "You're gonna watch your fucking mouth
yeah,
before you get
absolutely.
popped."
That's
You know what
called
I
a
mean? Like, and that and
confrontation.
that's where I
Yeah.
talk about, like, sure, it's okay to share your feelings and be
Is that what you say?
in touch with your
I'm gonna
emotions.
pop you in the face.
However, and this is just me, I'm not speaking for everyone. At a certain point, everyone wants to be so in tune, but the way that I was raised is a man and a man is here to protect and provide, you know? And if you're constantly, and again, this is, maybe I'll get some flack for this, but like, you know, you got to be tough. It's what we're here for as men. We're here to protect and provide
Correct. And
and be
I'm
tough
gonna
and
give
be
you
strong,
I'm gonna say this as I have a daughter, okay?
as your opinion, of course.
Correct, and I have a daughter, and I want to have a relationship with my daughter because when she's older because I'm excited for the person that she's gonna be. I can't wait till I'm in my 50s and she's in her early 20s, and we can grab a drink and talk life. That is what I'm most excited about. Sabrina and I had our daughter to love her as a child, to raise her, and to tutor her, and have a relationship with her as an adult. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're looking for. So you have the dads who are the strong silent types that don't open up, that don't you're the role model for your child, whether it's a boy or a girl, right? And sometimes in the role model that you are is the most critical aspect of what your child is going to learn. You know what I mean? I joke when I say this, but I'm dead fucking serious. When my daughter's a little bit older, I'm going to start taking her to the Flemings and to the Fogo de Chaos and the Il Fornayos and the high end restaurants because when she's 16 and going to her homecoming, I don't want some scrub taking her to Applebee's and her thinking it's a big deal. Okay. I want her to be like, well,
I mean,
my dad taught me how, how I needed to be treated. And I'm not trying to raise a stuck up snobby bitch either. Okay. I'm trying to raise someone who knows their value and knows who wants to marry someone who's got values that I have. I don't give a shit whether it's a guy or a
yeah, but
girl.
how
I
many
don't care.
girls did you take when you were fucking 16 to Fleming's or Fogo de Chao or all these nice restaurants? You might
No,
have a
but
job at
no, 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 no,
McDonald's
no, no, no,
making
no, no, no,
fucking.
no, no, no. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I didn't do that, right? But I don't want her to be impressed and be a floozy about it because he's making the most minimum effort. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying, but this kind of goes back to what I was saying about being a strong man is because, yes, of course, you want to teach your kids, whether male or female, the right way and how to be respectful and how to live and how to be understanding and show their emotions. However, a marriage is just two parts. And in the marriages, most of the marriages, which however you want to get married is fun, you learn from your dad and you learn from your mom and you learn different things from each. So I think that defining clearly
And then
what a man is and what a woman is and showing in strength in both of those roles is important. You know what I mean?
but
Because your daughters may learn strength from dad and loving and understanding and caring and communicating from mom. And those combined create strong people because you have
correct.
both.
But you also your wife that you're or your partner, whoever it is, comes in with the same preconceptions based on how their parents were. And so it's your job as a
I come
husband.
from a very traditional family, that's why.
Correct,
Very
but it's
traditional.
your job as a husband to understand the role models that your wife is coming in with, right? Like, I had to learn not just my wife's love languages, but her expectations of what a partner looks like because that's established by her parents, and her parents are very different from my parents. So our
Which is it creates a lot of
tension.
strife in some
It
relationships.
does.
Yeah,
It does
tension.
because you have an expectation. Hey, my dad was this way, so that's how I'm going to be a husband. Well, you know, her dad could have been completely opposite, so she expects you to be like that. So you have to find that halfway happy and have to find that compromise. Gone are the days where the man's like,
Of no compromise?
or the man's like, "This is my family. Like, I'm hunting and killing." Like, obviously, it's not completely gone, but
I don't think it's gone. I think in California it's gone. I think in a lot of
I was
California
literally
places it's
about to
gone.
say that, yeah.
In California, just like you were talking about, like, the over analyzation of, like, "Oh my god, all these bad things happens." It's in California. If you move to fucking more rural states, you have no problem letting your kids fucking walk to school or ride bikes or go out in the hills or do any of this stuff, but it's in California. California is fucked. Fucking
I mean,
California.
but at the
I
same
love it. I love the
like,
weather. I love the landscape. I love the scenery, but, like,
I agree, and I don't fully disagree either. There's parts of California that are beautiful.
the only reason I say California is fucked is because everything is so expensive.
Well, I mean, yes.
We should be able to have more
Did you know that if
for the amount.
California was its own country, it'd be the 4th largest economy in the entire world?
Yeah, that's because they're taking all of our fucking money. They're charging us too much. How
Yeah.
much is it? Look at I have to register my car, $89 a year.
Do you know how much
10
mine
years,
is?
that's almost
No.
$3,000 in 10 years of a car that I
Do
own.
you know how much my registration is for my electric car?
Yes.
747
Why?
because of
Why?
all the electrical shit that goes into it. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they're like, "Buy your fucking car, you're gonna
Make it
save
electric.
gas,
You're gonna
and
get all
and
these
you're gonna
rebates,
we're gonna
but
help the economy,
yeah,
but we're gonna fucking charge you for
I
the
know.
rest of your life as long
No,
as you
I
own that car."
look,
It's
man,
bullshit. Fucking
I
bullshit.
love living in California for a number of reasons, but here's the problem. Here's my biggest problem,
I
okay?
don't.
Is there's people that leave and they move to other states and see other states are run and then start petitioning to have things that are passed in that state's legislature that turn it more into California. So many people
Yeah,
moved to
fuck that.
Tennessee from California and now they're leaving Tennessee, not the same way, but they're leaving Tennessee now because there's a bunch of bills and there's people leaving Tennessee. There's a bunch of bills and things happening there that are slowly turning it into a new California. Like it's not that California is the
Because they 'Cause they're
best.
'cause they're bringing fucking liberalism to everywhere.
I
They're bringing it everywhere. It's like, Jesus, there's some parts of the country that just wanna just continue how it's been forever.
and
Not in every way,
that's
but
a
in, like,
problem
in, like,
in its of itself. That's a problem.
I said not in every way. I'm not talking about, restricting what people can do and who they can sleep with and who they can marry and all that kinda stuff. Do whatever the fuck you want, but, this country was founded on a certain set of morals and values, and I feel like we're just kind of in a lot of ways just veering off path. And it's to the point, and I think it's now because I'm older, I'm like, "Look, if you wanna get anywhere in this fucking world, anywhere, especially in America, you gotta work hard. You shouldn't be able to do nothing and get everything. That's not the way it works. You shouldn't be able to have access to
See,
everything all the time when you're not doing nothing.
here's the
Go out
problem
and
though.
fucking."
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Before you go off
I
the
don't think
handle,
there's any problem there. I don't think there's any problem there. I think
that
you need to
that
work.
that shit worked 50 years ago. That doesn't work today. In the
It doesn't work for lazy
information
people.
age. We're in an information age where you use ChatGPT all the time at work. Let's go back to what you just said. Go back to where you have to work hard and do that. You shouldn't be able to use ChatGPT for anything, Steven. Can't write
I've
your
never
emails at
used
work.
ChatGPT before this job, and the only reason I use it is because I'm in a completely different industry,
Yeah, but
and
here's the
there's
thing.
some things I'm like, "What does this abbreviation mean?"
So then don't yeah,
I
but
don't know what this
I'm not
abbreviation means on this
I'm not
fucking
I'm not
architect call.
I'm not knocking
It's
you
not
for
like
it.
I wasn't in the restaurant, like, how do I fucking calculate labor?
And
How
I'm
do I
not
manage people?
and
How
that's
do I
not
do
what I
this?
said. That's not what I
It's like
said.
using Google, it's the same thing.
Hard work will only get you so far. You have to work smart. And in the information
Yeah,
age,
work smart and work
there's
people.
there's technology and things out there that but, to a certain degree, dude, I agree. There shouldn't be a 15-year-old that's making millions of dollars on YouTube reviewing toys. There
There
shouldn't
shouldn't be an employee at McDonald's making $20 an hour when a cook at a fucking high-end restaurant is making 19.
I mean, so I
The
agree.
that whole bill of only fast food and not like make it fucking
Yeah,
across the
but
board of food
it's
service.
only for companies that have a certain number of employees. Because I was,
Yeah, they
consulting
create fucking separate
independent
entities for every
entities per restaurant, and then they don't have to
which
pay that.
which you can't hate on it because at the end of the
No.
day, they're like, "Look, I fucking built this from nothing. I was the poor kid. I was the one that had nothing, and I built this business, and now you're gonna take all my money?"
Yeah.
It's the same that goes for
And
billionaires.
people that try to pass in where schedules have to be created 2+ weeks in advance. It's like, yeah, I'll build an entire schedule, then Sally Sue will quit on me, and I gotta rebuild the entire fucking schedule without her on there. Like, I agree. There's a lot that goes into the state that I don't necessarily agree with, but all I'm gonna say, because I want to do my damnedest to keep politics out of this podcast as much as we can, because we agree on
It's
a lot.
bound to come out,
It
dude.
is, and it's fine. It's in a healthy
I don't
way.
I mean, it
In
is
a healthy,
exactly, as long
this
as
was
it's
a
not
healthy conversation,
disrespectful
100%.
or
This was a
rude, because
healthy
I never wanna
conversation.
take it there. I never wanna take it there
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. But no, dude, I mean, look, I we agree on a lot of things. We disagree on a lot of things. That's the beautiful thing of our friendship is the fact that we can talk and debate on it and not get offended because we're both
Yeah,
adults. You know what I mean? And we know how to do that.
100%.
So
I hate it when you bring this stuff up and people will immediately, like, start, like,
they either
shaming you or
shut down or
talking
they shame you.
shit,
Yeah.
or they're like, "You're this and you're that." I'm like, "No, like, I'm not saying that I believe in everything over here, but I just lean a little more to this side than that side." You know, like, it doesn't mean
It's
that we have to be enemies. This is the way that it's always been. You vote for what you want, and then if you get what you want, then you're great. And then in 4 years or 8 years, you get to vote again. Like, this is what our whole country is built on,
yeah.
right? I mean, you vote for how you want.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's some things I agree with, there's some things I don't. Do I think that there's a lot of false narratives out there and
Right.
fake news
There's
and
a lot of extremism.
targeted
The
things, you
the
know, and
extremism is what gets brought just like we talked about, like, the things with the social media and the news broadcasting all the,
it's
stuff going on, it's
fucking
bad.
horrible, dude. It's
The
crazy.
extremisms is what gets pushed and brought. If you're a little bit left, you're, on social media, you're all the way left. If you're a little bit right, you're all the way right. They try to make it
And
sound like
I don't
there's
like
not a middle ground, you know?
on social media. I don't like to be around like, I won't I've got a few people in my life that if I bring this kind of stuff up in the interest of, like, having a nice debate and, like, just talking about things without taking it to that level, and there's certain people that I've had these conversations with where it just goes from 0 to 100, and I've literally said, like, "I don't wanna have this conversation
Yeah.
anymore. I don't wanna go there.
Yeah. My
It's meant to be like a friendly debate and, like, you tell me your side, I tell you mine, and we" you
my
know?
dad and my father-in-law are polar opposites, and I can't get into a conversation with them about it because I have my own personal place where I am on that pole, whatever you
Yeah.
wanna call it, and sometimes my father-in-law will start spouting off, and I'm like, "You're so fucking stupid." And sometimes my dad will start spouting off, and it's my dad, so I'm like, "Well, dad, what about this?" And I counter all his points, and he's like, "Oh," he gets all huffy. "What's up, Ozzy?
Oh,
Look at the boy."
this is no Taco Bell dog here, my
No,
friend.
he looks like Taco Bell, he looks like an entire burrito.
It looks like he ate a taco. He looks like he ate all the Taco Bell. He's
Yeah,
super fat. Look at
yeah.
him.
Alright,
What's
man. Well,
up,
hey,
fool?
I feel like this was a good episode 5 going live. I'm gonna
Think so. Yeah, well,
I
this is
think
a long one.
we're
This
gonna
is the
kill
longest one we've done.
hell yeah, it is, and we can keep going too, that's the scary part. Alright, big dog.